1994 brought old friends and newcomers to the Final Four, and one clear favorite, the Arkansas Razorbacks. Welcome to our look back at the NCAA Final Four. I'm Chris Fowler. You know, some felt the Final Four in Charlotte would feel like a home game for the defending champs from North Carolina, but the Tar Heels couldn't make it out of the second round. What Tobacco Road faithful got instead were the Duke Blue Devils, returning for the 7th time in 9 years, thanks in large part to senior Grant Hill. They met up with the upstart Florida Gators. The other semi featured a pair of thoroughbreds, Arkansas and Arizona. The Wildcats' talented backcourt of Damon Stoudemire and Khalid Reeves vowed that they would not be intimidated by the Razorbacks' relentless defense, labeled by Nolan Richardson as 40 minutes of hell. We'll take you to that fast-paced battle when we return.
Being a rebound and get out and have some fun. That's all it is. One, two, three.
Having dominated all opponents thus far in the tournament, both Arizona and Arkansas were equally confident and equally ready. And as the first fan looked on, Arkansas broke out on top with the Final Four's first basket.
The left wing guarded by Geary, drives down baseline.
Scotty Thurman gave the Razorbacks the first lead, but it was Arizona's Khalid Reeves who had the first hot hand.
Reeves fakes the three. He will move into the paint, fire it up from 8 feet and score it.
Thurman, he'll take the shot. Air ball by Scotty Thurman. Arizona has it on the run. Khalid Reeves will drive, puts the shot up. Basket will count, and he is fouled by Corey Beck.
Some pass to Reeves, who lays it in with the left hand. Powerful driver. He has all 7 Arizona points. In the game's early going, Arizona was also impressive on the boards. Setting up for it. The Wildcats consistently out-rebounded and out-hustled the Hogs to open up a 15-10 lead. It had been a frustrating opening stretch for Arkansas. The Razorbacks were forced into making careless mistakes, and Arizona's relentless defensive pressure was causing all kinds of problems.
Arkansas players not moving their feet, not playing aggressively at this stage of the game.
They rejected on Williamson. Geary with the quick hand. Down by 5. It was time for the Razorbacks to go off on one of their patented runs.
Largest deficit of the tournament, and a three-pointer at the other end by Corey Beck.
Dwight Stewart quickly followed Corey Beck's three-pointer with one of his own as Arkansas retook the lead.
Gives Arkansas a 3-point lead. Arizona shot no good. Rebound Hogs. Razorbacks on the run. Thurman into the front court.
A few seconds later, Clint McDaniel hit the Razorbacks' third three-pointer in just over a minute as Arkansas was on a roll.
By the Razorbacks, they have just exploded for 11 unanswered.
With the Razorbacks now hitting from the outside, the inside opened up for Corliss Williamson, who was on his way to a game-high 29 points.
Great position for the rebound, sticks it back up and in. 10 points for Corliss.
They can't stop him down there.
So active.
Tenacious on defense, relentless on offense. Arkansas pushed its lead to 35-24 with 7 minutes left in the half as Alex Dillard buried back-to-back bombs.
Gets it out to McDaniel. Now to Dillard, wide open for 3. Good! Alex Dillard with his second straight 3, and Arkansas leads at 35-24.
But in this game of streaks, it was time for Arizona to turn up the pressure.
That's one to push it. Geary gallops the other way, into the lane, lay it up and in.
Oh, feeling confident. Wow.
3 jumpers he's hit from the corner.
Good, host the rebound, quickly Stoudemire. Here go the Cats 4-on-1. Reeves drives in, lays it in.
Right now, Arizona on a little run of their own.
39-34.
Even though Damon Stoudemire had missed his first 10 shots, Arizona was still able to close in on the Razorbacks.
Razorbacks will work it for a last shot. Trying to spin in the lane, knocked away.
And when Damon Stoudemire finally connected with this unlikely shot. As the first half ended, the Wildcats had come all the way back.
Three-pointer by Stoudemire at the buzzer has tied Arkansas at 41.
However, as the second half began, Arizona remained confident and surged ahead of the favored Razorbacks.
Nicely executed play.
51-48, Wildcats 3-point lead.
Corey Williams. Back in.
Led by the sharp shooting of Corey Williams, the Cats clawed their way to a 5-point lead with 12.5 minutes left in the game.
Stoudemire, he'll penetrate into the lane, leave it left corner. Williams wide open for a three. Good.
Now someone else stepping up big to shoot that perimeter jumper. That man being Corey Williams.
11 points for Williams, 57-52. Favor the Wildcats. Kick it off to Damon Stoudemire. He'll push it ahead to
Over the next 5 minutes, Arizona maintained its 5-point lead. But with 8 minutes left, Arkansas knew the time had come to raise its game to another level.
McDaniel and Thurman are back there. There's a steal by Williamson. He'll take it all the way for the slam dunk. Corliss Williamson. Arkansas leads it by 3. Gets it down low to Corliss Williamson. To McDaniel coming down the lane off the glass. Good.
In a lightning-quick 2-minute stretch, the Razorbacks had gone hog wild and taken control of the game. For Damon Stoudemire and Khalid Reeves, Arkansas's defense was stifling. After excelling throughout the tournament, Arizona's star guards shot a combined 11 of 43 against Arkansas.
Stoudemire in a little slump. Khalid Reeves, ice cold.
Reeves has not scored this half.
That's a tribute to this Razorback defense.
The Cats throw it away. Reeves trying to get it to O's down on the baseline. Now the
Stoudemire, he's having an awful shooting game. 3 of 19.
Khalid Reeves has struggled a bit, 5 of 13 from the field. Things all of a sudden have started to deteriorate.
The 12 straight Arkansas points had provided a much-needed cushion, and with Scotty Thurman adding 12 second-half points, the Razorbacks' lead never again dipped below 5.
Good. 78-70 Arkansas.
It was a classic half of Arkansas basketball. Tough, skilled, ferocious, and smart, and with hard-nosed, in-your-face defense and unselfish, balanced scoring.
Turns, dumps it down low to Robinson, lays it up and in.
Down 5 with 8 minutes to go, the Razorbacks had outscored Arizona by 14 down the stretch to win going away.
And Arkansas is going to play for the national championship. Lynn Olsen and Nolan Richardson exchange hands.
Come on, man, let's go. We are all set for Final Four basketball for the Charlotte Coliseum.
Duke at 27-5, and the Gators at 29-7.
Kruger against Krzyzewski, the Florida Gators and the Duke Blue Devils. The winner advances to play for a national championship on Monday night.
Considering that Duke seniors were appearing in their third Final Four, it was no surprise that 2 of them took control of the game's early moments. But what may have been surprising was the way the first-timers from Florida responded. The Gators took whatever Duke and Grant Hill threw at them and emphatically let the Devils know they would not back down. Tied at 10, the 2 teams then battled back and forth for the better part of the first half.
On the run out, Jason scores. Cross driving the lane, 17-foot jumper in. 14-12.
Down to Cable on the right. Ives in the middle. The pull-up jumper up. Kennedy's foul with the play. To Cable from the corner for 3. In and out, back in again.
Now left side to Cross. Out front, 4-3. That's 20-19. The clerk from 18, shooting in.
To Dimitri Hill.
Parks turn around from the right of the lane. Good. Grant Hill at the other end answers for the Blue Devils in the jumper from the left.
With 6 minutes left in the half, Duke finally went up by 4 and went looking for more.
Don't foul. Don't foul. Yeah!
But Andrew DeClerc's remarkable display of hustle ignited the Gators' first run of the game.
Back door to Thompson. He's there. He lays it in. Brown lost the ball, but Marquis saves it to cross to Jason, and Jason scores.
Down by 4, Florida outscored the Devils 14-3 to close out the first half.
Wide left side, Jason Anderson drives on Case on the baseline, and he shoots, scores off the glass. Jason Anderson, a beautiful.
So after the first 20 minutes, Florida led Duke 39-32. For Florida, the second half began as well as the first half ended, with the Gators quickly scoring the first 2 baskets.
Baseline left.
Across in the top of the circle, left side, it goes to Brown off the baseline. His shot is good. That's his first basket.
Mike Krzyzewski says, am I calling a timeout? Yes, I am.
He's the answer, Jim. They've got to get him the ball and get him the ball low.
Hill, three-pointer.
With Grant leading the comeback, Duke went on a 17-8
Clark with an
run.
entry pass down the baseline to Parks. Turnman nails that jumper.
Out front is Hill. Hill plays to Marty Clark. He loads for 3.
Gives it off to Grant Hill, diving toward the inside. They double him up. He finds an opening, puts up the jumper off the rim, and it goes. Grant Hill.
I said, Grant, we about to jump on your shoulder, jump on your back, carry us to the promised land.
This year in particular, he has enjoyed stepping forward.
Backing his man down.
And when Hill was finished on his way to a game-high 24, the Gator lead was gone. Florida, however, never lost its poise, and as the game entered its closing moments, the lead swung back and forth.
Picked up by Craig Brown. Brown coming back, 4-3, and oh my! And the Gators lead by 1.
Grant Hill one-on-one against Anderson. Wins it.
Finally, Jeff Capel's three-pointer with 2.5 left gave Duke a 65-63 lead. And thanks to several outstanding individual efforts, the Devils never fell behind again.
Stripped away by Marty Clark. Cross was making his move, and Marty Clark made the play. A big shot. Too strong. Rebound. Clark puts it back. Charge.
With stunning swiftness, Duke had outscored Florida 8-2 down the stretch to advance to the final game.
65, Duke wins it.
Oh, yeah, we here, man. We here, man. We here, baby.
Flashbulbs pop, and this one's underway.
On this night, the Razorbacks were playing for their first national championship. Duke its third, but only 20 seconds into the game, the Devils got a terrible scare.
Right on the seat of his pants, and he is hurt as he went up in the air, came down hard on his tailbone, and Dave Englehart is
While Duke's players and fans waited anxiously, Hill arose shaken but unharmed.
off, and the entire arena giving Grant Hill a round of applause.
And when he returned to action only 53 seconds later, the Devils jumped out to a quick 5-0 lead.
5-0 Duke.
Arkansas, however, answered right away.
Pass inside, knocked away. Thurman picks it up, sticks it up and in. Pushes it ahead to Corey Beck. Penetrates down the lane. Beck puts it up good. Corey Beck attacks the basket and gets Arkansas 2 more.
Hill has it stripped. Thurman.
Great defensive play.
Good passing. Williamson. An 8-2 Razorback run had given them a 1-point lead. Then over the next 4 minutes, the two teams went head-to-head. And as the intensity picked up, the lead changed hands 5 times.
Driving in like finger roll layup is good.
Pass into back, posting up, turn. Corey Beck gets it into the corner for 3. Good. Clint McTaggart.
To the corner to Collins for 3. Chris Collins.
Pass down the floor for Scotty Thurman. Too high. Thurman couldn't handle it. 3-on-1 for Duke. Jeff Cable behind the back. It is kicked out and lost.
Finally, Duke was able to get some breathing room.
Drives past his man, running one-hander up and in. Down the lane. turns. Jumper 19, good. Tony Lang. Duke's lead is 3. Hill penetrating.
With 10 minutes left to go in the first half, the Devils opened up a 20-15 lead.
Arkansas has tied its largest deficit of the entire tournament. They're down 5.
But before things got too nasty for Arkansas, the Razorbacks went inside to their big nasty, Corliss Williamson.
Position on Grant Hill. Williamson inside.
Big Nasty is a man-child. I mean, he's a man, he's big, he's strong.
Williamson knocked the Duke player down.
He's quick.
But how about Williamson? Does he run the floor or not?
Very agile, and got a great pair of hands.
Meek now trying to defend Williamson. Boy, once Williamson gets it right there on the block.
Not to be outdone, Grant Hill stepped up his game at both ends of the floor. As the half closed, Scotty Thurman gave the Razorbacks the lead by the slimmest of margins.
It's a one-point game at the intermission.
With 20 minutes to play, all that separated Arkansas and Duke was a single point.
Let's make these adjustments. Let's go out there. Let's do it now. Let's do it now. 5 minutes. 1, 2, 3, win. Let's go, fellas. Let's go, fellas. Our game, man. Our game.
The Devils knew that it was crucial to keep the tempo of the game slow and under control, a task that proved easier said than done against Arkansas. Led by Corey Beck, the Hogs came out running.
Action down the left side of the lane, off the glass basket counts. Corey's got 8, and Arkansas leads at 38-35. And folks, that's the biggest lead.
Unfazed by the Razorbacks' attempt to pick up the game's pace, Duke countered with a stunning run.
Hill finds Cable in the forecourt. Cable. Pick and roll lay-in. He's got 7, and it's 38-37. Arkansas by 1. Off the rim, Hill's there to Sky for the rebound. Rebound number 7 for Grant Hill. Hill is there for the rebound. And takes it around the right side, whips it back out to Collins.
Collins, his second of the game, a three-pointer. That puts Duke ahead. And Hill stripped it away. 3-on-1 Duke. To Lang. And this is a little bit shocking to the Arkansas players. Arkansas has not trailed by this many the entire tournament.
In just 2 minutes, the Blue Devils had scored 13 unanswered points and turned a 3-point deficit into a 48-38 lead.
When they went to that 13-0 run, that's the time we got a timeout. We've been in that position before. A lot of teams at that point, you're away in North Carolina playing Duke. It's panic time in the game. That our kids came right back, kept their composure. You can't rest 1 second with the Razorbacks because the Razorbacks will jump up and bite you at any point.
And that's exactly what the Razorbacks did as 2 Scotty Thurman jumpers cut Duke's lead to 5.
Come on, home!
On defense, Arkansas was equally relentless.
See Williamson laying down. Duke really frustrated now. They can't get an offense going. 15 turnovers by Duke,
forcing the Devils into a sloppy stretch of harmful turnovers.
Way down in the corner. Collins has got to think better than that.
The Razorbacks defense led to several easy baskets as Arkansas crammed its trademark 40 minutes of hell into a 9-minute stretch, outscoring Duke 21-6.
Thurman behind, right inside of Williamson. Stewart. Arkansas has cut it to 2. Lang has it taken away. McDaniel, a 4-court sprinter. Rebound to Stewart. Here's Diller now. Arkansas has come back from 10 down, the lead by 5.
With 8 minutes to play, Arkansas now had a 59-54 lead. Down but far from out, the Blue Devils bounced back yet again.
First offensive rebound I can remember. It's 3. That's a huge 3 for Duke. And that means Collins is open. I got it. Jim, a big move.
With the game reaching its critical juncture and the Razorbacks down by 1, Corliss Williamson stepped forward with 6 of his game-high 23, on his way to being named the tournament's most outstanding player.
I felt it was time for me to step it up and, you know, do what I've done for this team all throughout the year. And whenever I got the ball inside, I was able to get to the basket. It was just a matter of whether the shot would go down or not.
Thanks to Williamson's efforts, Arkansas went back on top 70-67 with just over 3 minutes to play. Now with the national championship on the line, neither team would give an inch.
Left side, Capel goes baseline, shot blocked by Williamson.
And with time slipping away, Duke got even once again, thanks to Grant Hill.
70-70, 1:20 to go.
The game, indeed the national championship, had come down to the final minute. And as Arkansas struggled to find the right shot, time was against them.
Stewart's open. Stewart. One on the shot clock. Thurman beat it. Oh! He got it. Three-pointer. Scotty Thurman. Watch the arch he puts on this to get it over Lang way above his normal arch and drains it.
We're looking for big nasty. We don't want maybe but a 2 out of it. If we can get the 2, we got the lead. And you got the lead, they've got to play. And as the clock is running down, we can't find him, and all of a sudden it goes out to Scotty, and when he cocked his wrist, you could just see the ball sailing. If he makes this, we're going to be national champs. He made it.
Scotty Thurman's three-pointer proved too much for Duke to overcome. But in reaching the finals for the 3rd time in 4 seasons, Mike Krzyzewski's team still had much to be proud of, especially Grant Hill, who started his college career with back-to-back national championships and closed out 4 seasons with a remarkable NCAA tournament record of 18-2. In the end, though, this was Arkansas's night to go hog wild.
Championship! The Arkansas Razorbacks have completed the dream season, and the Hogs have won the national championship 76-72 over the Duke Blue Devils. Arkansas with its first ever national championship.
The Hogs went into Charlotte and pressured Duke in its own backyard and came out with a title. Grant Hill and Duke had come up short for the home state crowd, but went down fighting. Their modern-day mark of 7 Final Fours in 9 years may stand for years to come. First fan, President Bill Clinton got to see his Razorbacks bring home a title. For Nolan Bridgerton, it was vindication after more than 330 wins as a Division I coach. And everyone who played that night for Bridgerton will be back the next year. Thanks for joining us for our look back at the NCAA Final Four.